Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Challenger 2023 Spring. I'm Atlas, looking forward to bringing you a swell broadcast here of 3 best of 3s. I am joined by Wolf here. Wolf, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Atlas. And today, reports have indicated that we do have 3 best of 3s coming at us this evening.
Yeah.
And if reports hold true, we could go 9 games tonight if the level of competition is fierce, if we do see very close games between these competitors this evening.
Oh, it's a little bit frightening, Wolf, given the severity of your warning here. What shall we do if we do make it to, say, 8 games with the prospect of 9 on the horizon? Do you have any recommendations?
I'm going to pray for 9 games. I can't keep up the bid. I'm not as good at it as you. I'll try to come back to it a little bit later. I'll bring it back.
I liked it a lot. I actually thought that my news anchor voice wasn't super great at the beginning there. I'll have to definitely work on that moving forward. Hi, everyone. I hope you've been having a great day so far. Looking forward to making it even better by introducing a whole bunch of Challenger League of Legends into your life.
I'm feeling a little bit sick today, but I'm going to power through. There's been a little bit of like what we like to call basically a throat cold going around in Seoul.
Where else do you get a cold?
I don't know. I mean, like a cold can be like more of your like sinuses,
I guess
your nose.
People say head cold.
Head cold.
Yeah.
So I just, some of the Korean casters were telling me their throats were bothering them. I'm like, me too. I think it's the change of the season. Maybe some allergy stuff. Who knows? But I'm going to make it. It's going to be okay. Here are the results from days 3 and 4 of week 7.
Yeah, the most interesting one, of course, being KT's 2-0 over D plus Kia. That is a massive one, putting KT in first place here in Challenger. Bro managing to take a game off Harmer Life is also kind of cool. And T1 getting the 2-0 over Live Sandbox, no real surprise there. DRX continuing to do some winning, and Nongshim taking down Gen.G. That is another matchup that we were expecting Nongshim to look pretty good in, because here in Challenger, Nongshim have been much better than their LCK counterparts.
Yeah.
So looking good.
T1 and Nongshim both with their 2-0 wins. They will face off today. Very important to decide who is going to get that 9th win, push themselves closer to guaranteeing playoffs. Similarly to the LCK, we have 6 top teams and then 4 lower teams, and you can see the big gap there between T1 and Gen.G. Still theoretically possible for Gen.G to make playoffs, same with Live Sandbox, but very unlikely if you don't start getting those wins right now.
Yep, T1 still yet to solidify their spot here. Of course, Gen.G are going to be betting on Nongshim today, hoping that they can take that one away. It's the differential there that makes T1 not actually locked in. Nongshim have won a lot of 2-0s, as you can see, plus 10. Even though they only have that 8 and 6, the 10 and 4 record for DRX, they still have a lower game score than Nongshim. It's sort of crazy.
And if T1 win today, they are guaranteed playoffs and will have all of the playoff spots locked in, because no one can get to 9 wins, as there are only 4 games remaining for Gen.G and Live Sandbox, and Kwangdong, Freaks, and Brianna are both already eliminated, as they cannot reach 8 wins either at this point. So that's kind of where we stand right now in terms of our playoff runs, as playoffs are fast approaching here for Challengers too, just 2 weeks away.
Yeah, got some exciting matches coming up here as Pog points. I don't know, for some reason I wanted to say Pog POG points, but that's just completely, it's like SMH in my head. Feisty out in front with 700, Lucid just underneath him. We can see that we don't necessarily have the same amount of top heaviness that we have in the LCK.
That's true.
A lot more spread of the points here as the equal third with like 400 people here.
Feisty and Lucid were the 2 picks that we were mostly voting for MVP of the season as well amongst the global team. We did see Valdez voted for Hambach. He's unfortunately not on this list, but it's because Feisty's taken all his POG points away. As this is going to be a really interesting matchup to take a look at here. In particular, the return of Sejuani in the jungle versus Wukong, and down here on the bottom side, Varus versus Caitlyn, which we have seen a little bit in the LCK too. Silas versus Akali is kind of a challenger special. We don't see that as much over on the LCK League.
And it's also really interesting given the fact that we see Wukong picked into Sejuani all the time, but it's still very, very even between the two junglers, same to be said for Sylas and Akali. I mean, Akali was picked as a pseudo counter to Sylas last year, but has now moved into much more of a neutralizing matchup as these are going to be today's games. And we had Wolf's weather report earlier saying that there could be a 9-game situation on our hands. I think it's probably 8. I don't see Bro managing to take a game off DRX, but I think that the other two almost guaranteed to go to those 3 games. So I think we're definitely going to have a fair bit of time together today,
I think we will. And DRX versus Breon, that's the one that you would expect to be a 2-0, but Breon has, despite a 1-13 record, taken quite a few games off of teams that are way stronger than them. So they are often bringing it to 3. So it could be a 9-gamer. I don't expect that. I think you and I are both kind of feeling it's an 8-game night here. I think we'll see 3 games between D+ and HLE. That will be also a pretty high-level series. And then things could get very messy between Nongshim and T1. Again, T1 desperately wanting that win to lock in their spot in playoffs.
It's so interesting. Every time we cast T1, I feel like they're tied in the standings with whoever they're up against.
Yeah.
It happened last week.
Yeah.
We did that on last Monday, and now we're back doing it again. But this is going to be our first one. D+ Gear taking on Hanwha Life Esports. And D+, a little bit sad after their KT loss last week, wanting to try and bounce back up against the Hanwha Life, who have just, they've impressed me almost every single time, Wolf. This is a team that has been really, really fun to track here in Challenger. But this is the team we're covering for first. Thanatos, Lucid, Poolbay, Rahel, and Loopy, of course. This, like the Challenger roster, very similar to like the 2020 roster, right?
Yeah.
Top heavy, plays through Thanatos and Poolbay all the time. Lucid's an absolute god. And then Rahel and Loopy kind of exist.
Yeah, I think that's a really good assessment, actually. Notice their first blood, by the way, down at 33%. That's very low for a team that's top 2 in a league. Usually, especially in a meta like this, if you were at the top, your first blood rate is like 70+. So interesting to see that they're winning, even though they're often giving up first blood. As Slam Dunk going through a bit of a reboot right now and is very popular in Korea at this moment in time. So love to see the Slam Dunk D+ here. Yeah. Just put the D+ players' faces on the Slam Dunk characters.
It's actually very creative. Pretty cool stuff. I wonder how many we actually have here in the audience for Challenger today. I saw a few coming up the elevator when I was coming to work earlier on today, so should be that there are a couple at least hanging out, ready to watch some of this sweet League of Legends, especially in this first series. Should be pretty hype.
A lot of people come in at the last possible second too, because this is actually in the theater, as we've mentioned before, and there's like popcorn and stuff you can buy as a whole concession stand, so people can come up like last second, grab their snacks, just like going to the movies. You just skip the previews, you don't have to watch all this.
You don't really need to know about the first blood win rate of Hanwha Life Esports being 77%.
But look at this, they are much higher first blood, almost double that of D+.
Also, never mind, actually, it's super hype stats. Why are you missing this?
And their first blood win rate is really high, so maybe we could see Hanwha Life Esports upset here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to need someone to run out into that concession stand and start knocking over the popcorn. Get in there! We got to talk about first blood stats.
Yeah, don't miss first blood. You
can
miss the first blood stats, but you better not miss first blood. You better be in your seats when we load onto the Rift.
Absolutely. Oh, someone's parents. Is that Loki's parents?
Looks like it.
Oh, very, very cute. Come to support their boy.
Yeah, let's go on a winning streak, that left sign says.
Mm-hmm.
Do it, Loki.
Loki actually was one of the players that kind of impressed us last week. Hasn't really been the focal point for a lot of us on Hanwha, but definitely last week picked up a POG, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And was getting some work done as Rooster versus Thanatos, the most boring haircut versus the best haircut.
Honestly true. The best haircut versus, you're not even trying Thanatos, but it's fine. I think it suits him to go basic, right? And because his play is so fancy alone, he can't have like the greatest play and the greatest hair. And
yeah,
he's not. He doesn't like. What is he gonna have? Like a lip ring also? He's
maybe next year.
He's keeping it simple.
Yeah.
As he is like Kana, prioritizing the Renekton a lot, and he's 7-4 on it. His Gnar has been more impressive. It's kind of like how Kana started the season off. as Rooster has been sticking with the Cassante, we have seen so many Challengers players just be so tunneled on Cassante, even with the nerfs. And I'd say Rooster is definitely better than some of our others that have also been tunneled on the Cassante, like Mihail, Dayak.
Yeah, the classic first pick Cassante situation that we've been running into, that's also infected the LCK as well.
Dindin.
Yeah, Dindin, he has a bad case of the Cassantes. It's really sad to see. Much like your throat cold, he's got a Cassante problem.
I got it from his Cassante problem. It's a new variant.
Oh, no. As here we are into the draft for our first game of the day. Annie and Zeri both being taken away, and there is the Caitlyn and Elise removed by Hanwha.
A lot of respect being shown to Lure, actually, in this draft here, straight up taking away that Zeri. That is such an unusual ban, because you usually can leave Zeri open since there's so many great lanes to play into Zeri, but they're just going to say, not allowing it whatsoever.
Not
and
this time.
He like sees a Zeri ban, he's taking his jacket off. He's like, oh, is it going to be like that? It's going to be like that.
All right. Well, it's time to play some Lucian, which is probably what they're going to lock in here. Unless, oh wait, no.
Karma's open.
Yeah, it does make it difficult to play the Lucian with Varus Karma kind of looming. We'll see what Hanwha are going to do about it. Certainly some options here. The first big Lee Sin that's been creeping up is super exciting when it's Lucid that's piloting the champion. So looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do here. Varus and Karma probably locked in.
I like this a lot for HLE because the Caitlyn is gone. There's not a lot of great lanes you could play, but they're going to prioritize the Gragas over the Karma here. This is wild if you think about what we see in the LCK. I mean, the Gragas is very strong, but over the Karma here allows D+ to now play a different Karma lane into the Varus. They can pick up Karma Ezreal. Sivir also great with this.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, Sivir Karma is the classic run fast lane, but this is the classic do lots of damage lane. Not necessarily early though, as yeah, you have a spell shield, but it's on a longer cooldown than a piercing arrow. So
yeah,
this could be tough because of course they're incredibly outranged. I like the Lee Sin pick for another reason as well, Wolf. Guan has been playing so well on the Lee Sin in recent matches, so that's also another reason to pick it up for DK, is Renekton locked and loaded.
This is really interesting because you get the Varus and then you lock in your solo lanes, and you were talking about D+ is so good on the top side of the map. Like Thanatos, Lucid, Pulbay when Pulbay is on, which has been a little bit inconsistent as of late.
Yeah.
But there's doing what Brion did to T1 kind of in a certain way where you're locking these solo lanes early. You've already gotten the Varus too, and since you know what the enemy bot lane is already, yeah, you're not going to be able to play the Karma with this, but you can just play weak side Varus or go for like Nautilus Varus and go on hit. So a lot of options here.
Yeah, Lua has been a bit of an on-hit Varus guy. He has been an enjoyer of the on-hit Varus. We haven't.
No,
we're
not
really
so
those,
much. And it's very hard in the Heimerdinger to
Yeah.
survive the lane if you're going to do that. But we'll see as Jace is removed. So they are really just trying to give Rooster and Loki the most opportunities here in this game to carry. So Alice is banned for some reason. The Rise and the Jace taken off the board. I like that. Jace, of course, very flexible, and with the fact that it's just solo lanes left to go for DK. Are we just allergic to Karma here? Like, I guess so.
Well, you do have to ban the Yasuo, dude.
Yeah,
Know what I mean?
apparently. Because the Gragas Yasuo combo is so scary. Now, Varus Kalista was not really on my list of picks I was looking at. I thought maybe we'd see Sivir Kalista before the Heimerdinger was locked in, but Varus Kalista, I mean, it might just be Karma because they both start with the same start.
Ooh, this would be fun.
Heartsteel Senna?
Oh, God, no, please, God, no.
Actually, it's going to be Senna, okay.
Well, Senna's going to be locked in. This is a lot of range, and this is a lot of poke. So that's really fun. I actually think it's really, really cool into the Sivir Heimerdinger, given the fact that they don't have very much range whatsoever. Add a bit of sustain there as well.
Malphite?
Just
Okay,
pick a
this
mountain.
is getting wild.
I mean, Malphite does an absolute number on Renekton.
Yeah. Okay, they're going to lock in the Ornn, which I think is going to give you a lot of opportunities later on in the game from really long range. Malphite engage is still pretty good, but this is much safer. You already have the speed up with Sivir. What are we going to see for Pulbay here, though, is the question now, as it's tough to punish a Gragas in lane. We're just not seeing it very much, especially with the Rise gone here.
Yeah.
Sylas, a lot of good ults to steal.
It's really true. He is expecting that it's going to be a Gragas in that mid lane, so you do get a relatively free lane. You don't. Oh, never mind.
But it's Gragas jungle.
It is, and it's Yone picked up for the mid lane as well. So we've got all of the physical damage possible, plus a Gragas in the jungle, meaning that not a lot of people are going to be incentivized to buy the magic resist, and Gragas could absolutely pop off. I love this draft from Armalite. It's so fun.
The Sylas pick feels so much better now when you realize that they were definitely thinking this could be a possibility. That's why they banned the Yasuo, because the Gragas Yasuo can be a thing. It has been a thing, right? On T1's style of doing it, they put the Yasuo top, but in this case, going to be mid lane. So Yone picked up instead, but the Sylas into the Yone definitely feels a little bit less annoying to play than a lot of the other matchups. He could have walked in here thinking it's a Gragas, thinking it's a free lane, but it's not. So pretty smart move here from D+. I like the Sylas into a lot of these champions. The cask engages can be great. Renekton, obviously great survivability, stealing Chains of Corruption, or the Yone ultimate, all great. Even Senna, not bad here at all.
Yeah, Dawning Shadow sounds like a lot of value to be thrown out here. Also gives some utility to the Sylas, you know? Theoretically also gives you Chemtech Drake value. Know what I'm saying? There's not a whole lot of that unless you count Safeguard or something like that here for D+. They don't necessarily have a massive amount of damage, especially in the mid-game. Late-game Sivir is just going to be ripping everyone apart, so I think they're kind of fine there. But being this short range, and also not necessarily having a lot of damage coming out of your top side of the map in the early stages of the game, this could be a really difficult one for DK to sort of get in amongst, unless they layer their CC beautifully early.
Yeah. I'm also curious to see how the Senna is going to do in this lane as well. Getting through those Heimerdinger turrets should be pretty easy once you start to get some of that range online. So a different approach here.
Yeah. You know what's not different? Doo-doo-doos.
Nope. Nice. That was our best yet.
You always nail it first time. Always nail it first time. Absolutely incredible stuff, yeah. He's been practicing. He's been practicing all week, guys.
I spend every night before I go to bed.
Yeah, we spend like 3 hours on Discord just doing together. That's what we do. We do a lot for Caster Synergy here.
I missed a do last time, but this time I didn't miss it. You know, I went all the way.
Yep. And we got a do. I think, in the recording last week as well. It was a very exciting week.
That was very hype.
Yeah.
Night Harvest, or not Night Harvest, sorry, Dark Harvest for
Dark
Guan.
Harvester.
We did see, when this was played by Umpty, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Predator variant, which we're not as big of a fan of.
I mean, it used to be good.
Yeah.
In 2019 or something.
I mean, he could go Dark Harvest, or sorry, Night Harvester after Dark Harvest to go full harvesting. But
there could be a lot of harvesting this game, actually, because a lot of our jungle Gragases do like the good old Night Harvester.
I also feel like Guon was probably playing Harvest Moon right before this.
Oh, that's true. He does seem like the an agriculturally based kind of player.
He was playing the N64 version as well.
N64 version?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I emulated the SNES version. That was one of the first games I ever played.
My first Harvest Moon was the Friends of Mineral Town GBA.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty good.
I think I played that one. But that was after playing the OG, where everything was just like half a pixel or something like that, and the pictures of cows were really, really fun.
Everyone told me that it was a really good game, so when I had a chance to pick it up, I asked for it for Christmas, I think it was. It was a great game. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it, and like, it was really ahead of its time. You think about how many farming sim games exist. As Rahel gets rooted.
Yeah, he's going to have to flash, and he's probably dead. There we go. The heal comes out, and there he goes down. So Hanwha just straight up winning. Here on this bottom side, they ran through the turret, so Loopy almost got some work done, but this is not good for DK.
No, it's very much not ideal. I think that I was going to make this comparison earlier, but it feels more warranted now. I feel like Rahel and Ghost are really similar players too. If we're thinking like really back to old Damwon and thinking about what these teams mean, is he's pretty safe in lane, but takes a bunch of damage here off of these initial Qs and autos from Duro, and then turns around here and and gets rooted. That's the end of that. And they even commit the heal and flash like that.
And he didn't even get the minion that he was overextending for.
Yeah.
That's incredibly depressing. And we were talking about this, right? Like, this is a difficult lane for the Sivir Heimerdinger to play because they just get straight up outranged. And there's also... Oh, he managed to get it. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, I was a bit frightened for a second there. It is just going to be difficult for them to play and weren't giving a lot of respect to Duro and to Lua in that position. So, Hammer, great start. Can they follow through, though, is the question here. And will we see these solo lanes find the effect that they need? Because Rooster is going to have to snowball. Of course, Thanatos is going to have a better and better time as the game goes on. But with the bottom lane kind of already in shambles, it feels great for Hammer.
It really
with the
does.
comp they have.
And Guwon can make a trip down there before that flash is back up. They also just may be able to set up another route with no flash here on this Sivir. And I mean, with Ghost set up here for the Varus, it's really easy to chase down and get those kills. He will have that up also before the flash comes back up for Rahel. So it is very uncomfortable for the Sivir Heimerdinger lane that wants to be pushing and wants to be ahead and still is, quote unquote, but isn't going to have the same sort of advantage as he would like as Guwon coming over here.
All right. Do you know who my friend used to call Gragas just better Lee Sin because he kind of did everything that Lee Sin did, but better. And he's now just going to wander into Lucid's jungle.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Because you basically get a flash kick, but instead of having to go over there and kick them, you just throw a big old barrel, and it does pretty much the same thing.
I mean, if he pushes Lucid down here, he gets another harvest stack.
Ooh, the
not
dream.
able to quite get him there, but still.
This is a disaster, though. Able to just walk into Lucid's jungle and start stealing his lunch money?
Yeah, this is like also not really supposed to happen. Especially when you have a Sylas in the mid lane, but he just wasn't helped out at all. So that's part of the power of Yone. Here we go.
Well, Luffy's just going to run at him. Okay, Lua, I think, has realized that he is indeed dead. Lucid's going to pick up that kill. They had 4 people down here to guarantee that they could get one back, and they got it.
Yep.
Nice work.
Yeah, there you go. Now you got something. Very much up in the lane there. And again, a little bit of lack of communication between Guwon, Loki, and the bottom side of the map because they knew that Lee Sin was in this area. They scouted him out and still sticking around way too long as he realizes, okay, I'm dead. I'm going to try to trade this back or at least guarantee that my Senna can get out. She did, but he did not.
Everything was fine in the end. We're just gentleman's agreement. Both of these bottom laners are going to die one time in the very early stages. And that's now been successful. So we can now go back to your regularly scheduled programming of just farming things on this bottom side. It's been such a long time since I've had the pleasure of a Senna game. Did you cast the Heartsteel?
Yeah,
disaster?
that was me and Valdez. We did not enjoy it that much. It was very funny, but that was about it.
Yeah.
And we'll see what he builds this time.
There's a ruby crystal that's giving me anxiety.
Yeah.
So is there any reason why you'd build Heartsteel Senna?
For the memes. I mean, we talked about this last time when it happened. Is just like, yeah, she's got really long range, so she will be able to proc it very easily, and she becomes tankier, I guess. But like, that's not, like, it's only in just health, and that's not really helpful. And it's very difficult for her to stack it enough times consistently to actually be a real threat. So, like, why not just go Umbral Glaive and get more vision?
And then you could like go like a Mandate or something if you're like looking like desperate for a mythic. Moonstone Renewer, you know, like that's fine.
Yeah,
you do a bit of healing.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe there's just like
maybe she's building a Knight's Edge for safety. Someone in the chat said.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Maybe Senna is just so strong right now, you can do the Frog and Anivia thing where like he'd just build a Warmogs because he could and stuff, and he's like, it doesn't matter what items you have, just don't die and your kit's too overpowered. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
Man, this
Senna's
isn't a
just
Lego
that broken.
set.
Gene, it is a bit. a Lego set. Like, that is part of the reason why we love League of Legends, is because, okay, that's just going to be a boot back, and that's a real dead Loki. He got a taste of his own medicine. His own hijacked ultimate, putting him in the ground.
Well, this is a problematic situation. Lee Sin with 2 kills.
I just need to put this in a column. Should I put this in the pros column or the cons column?
I think we're going to put it in the cons column.
Oh, no, not the cons column.
A bit of an issue. Now, we could put in the pros column, we could at least put that both kills are on the Lee Sin and not on the Silver or the Silas. So there's a pro. It's a smaller one.
In the pros. There we go. Okay, good.
Con column. Definitely the Herald going over here.
Yeah.
You're going to have to add that one.
Herald. Dead. Mid.
Giant's Belt. Also for Duro, that's probably going to the cons. Probably going to the cons.
Okay, Giant's Belt. Oh, man, this cons column's getting too big. I can't fit anything else in here. She's actually doing it. So was this actually the team that also played the Heartsteel Center? I can find out. I can give it a good old-fashioned polish. Oh my God, he's played it 3 times.
Yeah. This pick on the Loki in the mid lane also is just really, you got to be way more careful than that, my man. I think some nerves coming through here.
Senna most bought items, 100% Heartsteel.
Oh, I see. 2 and 1 though. Pros column.
Pros column. Yeah. So yeah, apparently just really enjoying some Heartsteel centering, which is fine.
We're gonna keep a close eye on it.
Infinitely scale.
Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on it. So does Senna, you know? I mean, she's a support, but she gets gold.
Yeah.
From her sickle and from her souls. She's gonna get more range. Level 6 right now. Yeah, well, let's wait and see.
Yeah, this really is a rebroadcast of one of the 3 Senna games.
Yeah.
That Duro has already played. That's basically how it goes. Just a reminder to everyone that this is indeed a rebroadcast, as we were mentioning, from 2028. All of the current players in the LCK that you're used to have since retired. They all work on various farms with various animals across the land. Trophy's Camel Farm in New Zealand is the most popular. Death's Alpaca Farm in Tasmania is also a favorite amongst a lot of our players. There's also some place in Spain, I think, but it's really hard to keep up with everything.
And the players are scouting out the Chilean farmlands as
yeah. Mainly anywhere that's like possible wine country is kind of where they want to go, which is interesting. So maybe California going to be next as well. You know, have some nice shots.
Do we have any New Zealander pro gamers or any programmers in New Zealand?
Yeah, that's Chovy's Camel Farm.
Oh, that's right. The camels in New Zealand. That's right.
Yeah. Although Tasmania is more like whiskey and oysters, so I guess that's fine. It's just not the wine vibe.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah. Pizza Good Yum. We're really good today. I hope you're also feeling good. Hope you got some pizza. I feel like there's a giveaway in your name about things that you're enthusiastic about.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty good hint. All right, starting this second Dragon up, by the way, Infernal Hex Tech, so the soul is probably going to be...
It's got to be Mountain, right? We're just going to have all of the value?
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
I mentioned Chemtech earlier today. It's probably Chemtech.
It's probably Chemtech.
Yeah.
As this is a very fragile setup here for HLE. Okay, with Rooster coming down, I changed my stance.
He is a Lego crocodile, though. That makes him a little bit more difficult to kill, as it is going to be Mountain Soul. I don't know how I knew it, but I had a lot of confidence that it was going to be Mountain this time. I don't know why.
Well, it does make the game more interesting, that's for sure. So I'm glad that you stuck with your first gut reaction, as Atlas is pretty much 100% correct on predicting souls. So it's pretty much always happens.
Apart from at Worlds last year, the fact that it was Hextech most of the time and not Cloud made me so sad.
Yeah.
Jat was also like randomly really passionate about the Drake that was going to be killed the most. I'm like, you know that it's RNG, right? And he's like, no, it's about like who's going to want to kill Drakes. And I'm like, but Jat, like they just kill all the Drakes every game anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I mean, there are Drakes that you don't commit to as hard, but Like,
But they still die generally.
he has a point, but it's not the one I would hone in on. I think that there's like definitely some research that could be done there, especially now that we have the Chemtech back on the Rift, and it's also bad, and Ocean Soul is worse than it was before. So,
but sometimes if they're bad, you actually kill them more because you give them up to the other team.
Well,
right?
the other team is like, I don't want that. So
yeah.
Drakes very rarely just get left because they're not taken. The team that has the worst team fighting comp will leave it, but the other team will take it. It's not like it's not like either team's like, well, we're just gonna stay in the lane and not go kill that because we have nothing else to do.
Cloud wins most according to the stats and according to just it being the best soul, 100%. Kaiba, you just got it nailed. Yeah, I had something that I wanted to add, and then the fact that Lego Renekton does more damage if you step on it.
Renektoy.
I liked that comment. That was cute. If you face check him, maybe he does more damage as well. You know, because like that's like you accidentally step on a Lego and then like, oh, ow. But it does actually look legitimately very similar to like 90s Lego crocodiles that you used to get in like there was like, what is it, like sort of the temple, like ancient temple, like Indiana Jones Lego style.
All that stuff. Like, it also looks like slightly like the Playmobil sets.
Oh, true.
It's my favorite Renekton skin, so I'm glad that it's getting more popular in the LCK. It was basically underutilized until very recently.
I like Pool Party a lot, mainly because you can get up on your little chair, and it looks really, really funny because you just bounce up and down. All right, we're going to be face checking some things here, as we might have some form of a team fight.
Maybe. No vision here now for D+ in this deep river, so it'd be scary to just walk in here.
Okay. Poolbay walked into his own jungle for a moment. Duro slinking into the mist, but now doesn't have that. And DK, I think, might just give up the second Herald. It is not the most valuable thing, but seeing a team not fight for second Herald would be crazy. So in we go. Let's look for it. Let's see if we can find this battle. As Lucid going to safeguard his way out. There it is, the flash knockup to come forward. The Bellows breath value is just gigantic as Thanatos gets out, but no one's dead just yet. Rooster's going to be the first one to fall, though, as the Q connects onto Loki. Lucid follows through, but they manage to take down Lua, who's once again sacrificing himself, I think, for the good of the colony. I don't know whether he necessarily needed to, but that's a triple kill for the Sivir. Wolf?
Yeah, and Lure, you know, not doing a whole lot here comparatively. Good luck.
All right, Loki is going to go for something here. Lucid going to get taken down as over the wall goes Poolbay. Chain Lash coming forward as Loopy. Can you hit a few of these buttons? The answer is no, but the chains are going to be there, and that's a dead Silas because, of course, he has no health and he's underneath the turret.
They're getting mid-turret, so it's okay to trade like that. Poolbay absolutely dunked on that team fight. He did so much and gave so much space to Rahel. It's crazy.
And look at Thanatos as well. He was kind of by himself at the beginning of this one, but somehow it worked out.
It looked really scary until he flash engages here, and he's...
Oh, it was the bolted grenade.
Yeah. And then also Bella's breath was sick, and then watch the follow-up from Poolbay. He's like, yep, well, you set me up, I'm going in. And all the while, no damage onto Rahel whatsoever. Just gets the free hit here, untouched. And then, for some reason, instead of just waiting for the Heimerdinger cooldown, Poolbay decides he's going to go in on this after we're watching the whole thing in
well, this was actually pretty cool gaming here.
It was some cool gaming. And then Poolbay was like, oh, yeah?
Oh, now we're going to cut the video because we were busy praising Heimerdinger, and so, of course, he has to die immediately after the replay. It's just how it goes.
Yep, that's how it goes.
Balance in all things, Wolf.
Truly. As Poolbay, he wants to go in on this again. He does have Hijack back available. See what he wants to steal here.
All right, this Drake not going to go unnoticed. This Hanwha want to get the soul point. There's the ult to come forward. Not exactly going to find everyone, but Poolbay's going to go down. Nice little knock-up, but only really hitting Rooster. And DK realized that 3 versus 4, that's not going to really be their option. 3 versus 5 even, as Loki was waiting in the wings.
And that was a really nice angle there from Loki. Poolbay steals the cast and tries to set up for something, but is just killed before he can use it. So go back to this moment here. Rahel Chains of Corruption. Or no, actually, it's not actually the Chains of Corruption. It's the Senna route that leads into the cast play here.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're down a Heimer, but you need a really strong front line for this Sivir, and Loki has a nice flank angle, and there's a control ward in this pit, so he knows exactly the angle he can take. And while cast is stolen, he's deleted. Sorry, Fulbe, not involved in this one.
Nope. I'm still kind of okay with where DK is sitting right now. We have Rahel, who's completed his Kraken Slayer, looking towards his Quick Blades as well for the next one. The Sivir going to be pretty strong. And as you can see, money kind of all over the place here for DK. But these dragons, the pesky dragons for Harma Life Esports really could become a problem. Mountain Soul is a big deal. And Rahel, pretty good AD carry as far as cutting through that. But you're still going to be feeling so much better, especially as this Gragas having a bit of extra inherent tankiness as well as Rooster as well. Like, because these are like pseudo tanks, and now with a Mountain Soul, they'd be kind of real tanks, which is good.
Real tanks. And
the
like,
Heartsteel's done, by the way.
Yeah, it's confirmed.
I think the best thing about Heartsteel for Senna is the fact that it makes you bigger. The more items you have.
Yeah.
It's like big Senna.
Big Senna.
Yeah.
Wide Senna.
Yeah, wide Senna happy.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Wide Senna, I'm unhappy.
Yeah. Just wait until the next Mythic. We'll have to do a size comparison. Just we can measure the amount of width on this Senna as she comes out next time.
Yeah, next Mythic, or you mean next like Legendary when she gets the extra Mythic passive?
Yeah.
I don't know if she gets another item this game. I don't know. It's just.
But she's got to finish her Dead Man's play.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Heartsteel. Let's see how many auto attacks Duro gets off, like starting now in a team fight. I'd like to keep a really close eye on that because he's not in lane anymore, so he's not farming it there. He got this item after the laning phase. And let's just keep an eye on that Heartsteel value. You know, we'll also probably be able to let us know at the end how much damage, how many stacks he got. You know, was it worth it?
What else would have been better though? You know, like that's kind of the question.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They didn't pick Karma, which I think would have been better.
Oh, right.
But like, if we're just because they're seemingly like self-banned Karma.
You have to pick Senna.
Oh, you mean itemized?
Yeah.
Itemization-wise. Probably just Umbroglaive, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not a. I'm talking just Mythic, but I guess you'd go Umbroglaive first, no matter what.
Yeah, you'd like Umbroglaive and the Kraken Slayer or something.
I like the Kraken Slayer Senna. That's my favorite. But maybe that's too greedy. I don't know. I don't know.
It's not great into this lane, so maybe that's why they did it. But guess what? You don't get to finish Heartsteel before the lane's over, so
yeah,
it's not
Pandemonium. We don't hate in this chat. You know this, all right?
What did he do?
He hates Senna.
He hates Senna.
No one hates Senna. This is wide Senna happy. You can't be sad about wide Senna happy. He's got a Heartsteel, having a great time. Iceborne Senna. There we go. Titanic Hydra, Black Cleaver.
Honestly, Iceborne Senna sounds kind of legit right now.
Well, I mean, honestly,
if you're going to build Heartsteel, you might as well just build better Heartsteel.
I really, we need to get the emote, the wide Senna happy emote to exist.
Yeah. It's actually just like her beam.
I like Shark Hero comes in like real late. Why Senna got the health item? What's going on here? Well, this is Challenger. This is Duro.
No.
Currently, Heartsteel Senna is 2-1, not including this game. So we could even out.
Or 75% win rate.
Or 75% win rate, which is the highest Senna win rate with this item that there is.
Before this Drake fight, by the way, stopwatch is purchased. Zonia's is done, so 4 stasis available here for D+ on this fight. They do not want to give over Soul. They are going to force this super hard.
Wow,
this is looking for a kick.
You really shouldn't give it up. That is absolutely true. Wow, that's a lot of value out of that Ricochet. And DK, they managed to get the wave pushed out and can now move into the Fog of War, although they haven't really removed a lot of this vision as Rooster, oh man, Piercing Darkness has to be used for the heal as Chains of Corruption is going to be thrown out by Poolbay, and there's another one. This time the real one, Flash, going to be used. Great little snare as Thanatos is almost just dead. Dawning Shadow not enough to take him out as Lure is kicked into the back of the team, but immediately Loki through with the ultimate. That was fantastic, but can they do more is the question. The Civ are taken down, but this Silas is still a huge problem, doing so much damage. And Loopy, what? Okay, just did like a third of the health bar of Rooster right there. This guy's the real carry. I thought it was a Sivir, but it's not. As Guon is going to get chased down by his favorite champion. That feels bad, but what feels worse is being Heartsteel Senna with nothing to do.
Yeah, she did 2,300 damage to more than Lure. But
There
Lure
we go.
was instantly deleted at the beginning of the fight by Lucid's kick. Loopy doing a ton of damage with those Heimerdinger turrets, as well as his W raining in. So even though Rahel was killed also early in the fight, the turrets got insane value. This is kind of a trade of engage ultimates here. And it's crazy that Thanatos lives here. The follow-up is so slow that he actually gets to flash out. And then they use Cask, so the easy follow-up here is there for Poolbay. This kick from Lucid at the same time means that Lure is just instantly dead. And by the time the re-engage comes through from Loki, it's too late. Look at this Heimerdinger turret. Just still free hitting, still firing. Another one goes down, still Heimerdinger damage. Yeah. Loopy doing massive amounts of work in this fight.
That wasn't a third of his health bar, but hitting him with all of those rockets at the end there, locking the kill down onto Rooster, just really good play out of this Heimerdinger. And I appreciate some good Heimerdinger play, you know?
They also broke neither of their stopwatches, Rahel and Loopy, so they still have them.
Hey, there we go.
10,000 damage done by Sivir at 25
already.
minutes.
Just shows that this Quick Blade build is actually like working out really, really well for this Sivir. You can also go third item BT in this as well. Like, man, feels really cool actually. Just because BT is like so broken, like overheal and the BT combination just means you can kind of sit around and constantly clear waves and always have full health and just be happy.
It's very annoying to deal with, very difficult to fight against that overheal. And I mean, now it's D+, you could just start Baron. You've cleared this vision out. You have mid-prio, you have Sivir who can clear waves so quick.
Yeah.
And I mean, now HLE are like, we have the engage tools. We don't have flashes though. We have a Heartsteel Senna. This is a problem. It's not the solution, unfortunately, in this case. And so how do we wrestle back Baron control? Starting with some control wards in the pit. Duro's just trying to stack his Heartsteel, man.
Well, he's got 50.
Yeah.
He's feeling
It's a good
all right.
start. It's a good start.
He's got some health.
It's not zero.
Yeah, and
it was
also,
zero for a while.
And he's like, he's got a really, is starting to have a huger model, which is really cool. Bit of extra health there, also a positive thing. 3 items for Lure is actually, in all seriousness, pretty fantastic. Does have the BT shield bow combo that we've seen rising in popularity a lot, especially with Zeri, but you can also build it, of course, on the Varus. Rageblade done also. So some valuable stuff being put together.
All right, all division cleared out again. And Loopy is running back. Are they actually going to reset here? Interesting to give this up here, especially as HLE TPing to mid. They're going to try to siege this turret.
All right. Thanatos just going to say no for the moment.
They just gave Baron control over to HLE for free. The turn here is not amazing, but it's decent, especially because Heimerdinger turret's not in place here.
Well, this is still going to be a 50-50. It's still going to be a flip unless they can lock Lucid out of this, or Palmer Life Esports go for a turn. Already half the health bar onto Rooster though as Thanatos comes forward, not going to be able to find the ramp to go back as immediately that is a dead Heimerdinger, but the stolen ulti is so good out of this Silas. Poolbay taking matters into his own hands as Duro, that Heartsteel putting in so much work, I guess, kind of, but not really, as Rooster is just going to get cut down. That is the double kill. The pizza, not quite long enough there from Rahel, but still he's going to be able to pick up yet another triple. That should be a Baron, and it looks like it's a 50-50 on this Senna. It looks
like it's a 50-50 on the Senna, you know? He's up to 127, man. He did so much work getting stacks in that fight.
Yeah. 127, man.
The real hero is Pulbe, who actually steals the Yone ultimate and does so much with it. Look at his angle here. He's level 16. His Rod of Ages is complete.
Would you say that sealed their fate?
Yeah. look at this Thanatos setup though, and then Pulbe's like, all right, kick goes in. I'm here for follow-up. And that's the end of the fight.
I thought he only got 2 people, but he actually just like straight up killed Guon with the first part of it.
I think this is gonna be a Pulbe angle for me though, for POG.
Yeah.
He's not doing as much of the boom boom, obviously, as Rahel is, but he is certainly setting up the boom boom.
I don't think you can give it to Rahel because he kind of just like entered for a caster minion level 1 and made the game way harder than it needed to be.
Yeah, that's not great. He is 2,500
That's
gold
in my
now.
cons column because I wrote that down. That's in the cons column.
True.
Yeah. I wrote hair lol. Oh no, that says Herald. Dead mid, giant belt. And that
the Giant's belt.
The Giant's
Back
belt.
when it was only a Giant's belt, and there was still hope that it was something else.
Yeah. How sad. Hanwha still feeling like they've got one more fight left in him. Go on, can you find the angle with this next cast? Cask is going to be the question. As the Ram is going to be called, that's a triple knockup, but they don't find too much more. Thanatos just goes golden in the faces of Hanwha, and Hanwha says, cool, and they walk away.
That's going to be the second Mountain Drake here for D+. And Hanwha, no opportunity here to re-engage except Loki. Good luck, Loki.
Yep, they had to face check, and they do so. But once again, it's sort of like the, yeah, cool, and then kept walking forward as Bella's Breath going to be used here. The Drake secured now as Lucid just wants to find his target. Pulbe not going to be able to find that Fate Seal this time around, but Rahel is just so huge. At this point in time, Loki is pressing a lot of buttons, doing a lot of things, but I think he's also just going to die. There he goes. Thanatos locks down the kill. Oh, don't you hate that when things get done a lot and then nothing really happens and you die?
Oh, I mean, HLE lost control before they tried to rotate back over, and then they're like, well, I guess we lost the game. We'll just go for one more as Loki is trying to engage into 3 Heimerdinger turrets, and then the ultimate is not great. Pulbe actually gets nothing with his ult in terms of hitting people, but closes the gap there, and then Loki just kind of misses everything onto the Lee Sin.
Oh, chains connect, but it's hot steals. Never mind.
Oh, it's so, I mean, he's saying about all the health though.
Yeah,
it's so hard to kill him.
Oh, that's because the rest of his team fit. That's what it is. There's the knockup. As Guon is going to try and do what he can, but the next is still going to go down. D+ Kia take game number 1 against Harma Life Esports. Impressive performance from a lot of the team actually, and good recovery from Rahel.
Yeah. I'm gonna put my vote for Pulbe though. I'm gonna Pulbe vote.
Yeah,
I thought he was pretty clean. There were some small mistakes, but I mean, who didn't make a small mistake in this game? To be frank?
I'm a Thanatos guy.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think as long as you're not voting for Rahel, really,
yeah,
which is like hilarious
I
because
was
he
almost
carried.
a loopy voter, but then he got caught a couple of times and like insta-gibbed in the last couple of fights, so. I think there was definitely some stability in this Ornn pick here for Thanatos.
What's it all for, Duro? Like what's going on? You could have just played Karma. Like why not just play Karma?
I know what to do in the break. I am going to work out exactly what the best choice of build is for Senna. And then we're going
back and tell you guys.
No, we're going to send a letter. We're going to send a letter to Duro and explain exactly.
I'm not signing this letter.
Yeah, no, you have to sign the letter. You have to sign the letter. We're going to send him a letter, and we're just going to say like, hey, we really appreciate your Senna gameplay, but we think perhaps with maybe some different items or something like this, we could consider like building this and stuff like that. But maybe he'll come back and say like, look, you just don't understand, and you've just been consulting like Twitch chat, and I'm a professional player, and I think that I know better than you about a champion that I've put like half my life into playing. So if you wouldn't mind, could you sit down, sir? That might be what he says, which would be polite of him and potentially true. And Pulbe does pick it up. 4-2 and 11. The guy stole a lot of ults and did a lot of good stuff.
He's actually going to write you back and be like, listen, silly caster. You're lucky I didn't build Gale Force. I have a lot of entertainment value I'm trying to offer, and I could have built Gale Force, you know, too, to even add more.
More memery.
Good game from Pulbe though, for real. The two unfortunate deaths there. One of them was like really silly on the top side. The other one, he couldn't quite get the ult he was looking for. But the rest of the team fights, he and Thanatos set up the Sivir, and probably were some boom boom damage votes. But I'm glad that Pulbe got it in the end.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually, I don't think that there were too many Sivir votes in amongst it. But I think there are quite a few legitimate votes for D+ Kia, especially if you look at the game from sort of mid-game onwards. They just played the team fights just a little bit better. And I kind of liked the idea that Harmolife had, but the execution just wasn't quite there, and their composition just ran out of time.
Yeah.
Something like that. But do you know what the best thing about this is, Wolf? The
More
best thing
games?
Yeah, exactly. We have another 2 of these games to go. So we're going to go to a short break. When we get back, game number 2, then game number 3. Welcome back, everyone, to LCK Challenger Korea 2023 Spring. I'm Atlas. This is Wolf beside me. We're ready to get into game number 2 of this best of 3 series. D+ Kia taking game number 1 in pretty handy fashion. Wolf, sir, any predictions moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a 2-0. You know, I'm really feeling like after that last game, HLE gonna have to step it up a little bit. If you feel what I'm saying, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I am lifting what you have placed on the ground, Wolf. I also agree that it is looking like D+ Kia are the better team currently. Whether they can keep up this form into what could be a different center build.
That center build is just, it wasn't right, man. I don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. we have done some research and to place into the letter that we were proposing to write to Duro and let him know that Heartsteel, while, yes, in solo queue, a 50.7% win rate, according to op.gg, which is above half the time you win, but there are other builds that can provide you with a larger win rate. Kraken Slayer, one of them.
Yeah, this ain't
Eclipse
solo queue, man. I don't know about that Heartsteel stuff. He's not doing any autos. He's not building stacks. He's just not being helpful.
The problem with Heartsteel is you have a long amount of range on center. What you want to do is utilize that by standing safely in the back. What Heartsteel does is build stacks based on being near opponents and then wasting time shooting them with a very long wind-up.
He's trying to be like, okay, maybe I'm going to get stacks later because my range is going up, but you're not getting stacks, man. Not getting stacks.
Anyway, let's jump into the draft here as Harma Life Esports moving over to the blue side. Ban and Karma. Karma completely falls through the draft and then banned first off.
Yeah, that was, that's interesting. Just letting D+ know they're definitely not going to play it. We weren't going to play it now we can't play it. So don't have any second thoughts about, wow, maybe they'll play Karma this time because what they did last time really didn't work out. Just let D+ know you're definitely not going to make a better choice this time.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
Harma Life are just going to like ban away every other support. Like that's technically 3 support bans. They're like, center is the way now. But then we're going to have to write all of our letters and things like that. As final ban to come through here for DK, I assume it'll be a bot laner of some kind. Lucian, Caitlyn, Zeri, things like this. Lure, of course, does very much enjoy going towards the Zeri, but the Caitlyn is going to have a slightly higher priority here, especially with Karma banned away.
Could be a Varus first pick here. Could be Lucian if you're expecting that Zeri to come through. But they're just going to pick Sejuani and be cowards and be like, you pick the bot duo first.
Yeah,
we'll wait and see.
Yep, Sejuani going to be locked in. Shout out to Bunny Fufu, who says Sejuani whenever he is playing TFT. Also one of my favorite players of League of Legends back in the day. Anyway.
Does he hop through the forest?
Bunny Fufu?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he does.
Oh, okay.
100%. He does a lot of hopping through the forest. He also does a lot of throwing lanterns at people and stuff like that. His thresh was absolutely fantastic.
Does he scoop up field mice and bop them on the head?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah. No, all that sort of stuff.
Okay. Well, are we just gonna blind Neela? Is that where we're at right now?
I reckon that's probably the way to go.
That's where we are right now. Like, we're just not even gonna see what they're gonna do. Okay, now this is much safer. Okay, yeah. Thankfully we did not just blind the Neela for no reason.
DK decided to glance at the tier list for a moment. They're like, "Where's Neela at?" About near the Heartsteel at this point in time.
I mean, she's okay. Just you probably want to make sure that they're playing a fragile 80 carry that you can get advantage against first. Is okay. Velios coming through. Ooh, Velios Thresh.
I like it. Can you build Heartsteel on Thresh? Get a bit of value, you know, like with your flay autos, yeah?
Yeah, you
like it.
You could do that.
Hell yeah. I'm hoping that he does. Duro he's probably just a Heartsteel guy. What are we pairing with this Varus? I guess not a Renekton, but they will pick Renekton anyway and put it in the top lane probably.
Well, we can just wait and see what goes with this Varus.
We love you too, Snuggles Prime.
Yeah. We try to be ourselves, or
we try to be anyone else.
we try to not be ourselves for fun sometimes and do like a bit, but it's usually just us being us.
Yeah, and even when we're doing a bit, generally we kind of be ourselves. Well, casters like some pizza or some chicken wings. What would you prefer, pizza or chicken wings right now?
I ate pizza for dinner last night, so probably chicken wings.
I just prefer chicken wings probably, so I'm down for wings if you guys want to pass this over.
Yeah, you can go back to bed, Papa Smithy. It's fine.
Yeah.
Go back to watch game 1. No, don't.
Yeah, I would definitely. Well, unless you want to see the value of Heartsteel Center and just how good it is. Papa, in fact, if you do have any insight as to why you would build that item on Center, if you could let us know, that would be fantastic. We're struggling to try and figure it out over here.
I mean, last time it happened when Valdez and I were casting, we like spent about 20 minutes trying to figure it out and like trying to justify it, and we just came up empty. Like we talked about what could be good at it, and then it didn't work, and this time I just was like, nah, I'm not even going to try. And then we kind of did, but
Yeah.
this Rise ban, once again, pretty interesting here.
It's just pull bait. He's just a bit of a Rise guy. And yes, Saren, it's now been played 4 times in the LCK. It's been Duro, I think, every single time, and he's built Heartsteel every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask Prince Pop. That'd be great. Thanks, man.
He's probably just gonna laugh at you. Leona, I don't like as much as the Nautilus here because it's pretty easy to just press R.
And Leona classically countered by Thresh.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting choice because Thresh's box is so good against Leona Engage.
And she presses Zenith Blade and you press Flay.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm sad.
Are we doing this?
Hell yeah, we are.
You and I were talking about how today it feels like a day we'd see Aurelion Soul. Oh, he meant Irelia, not Aurelion.
Aurelion, Irelia, Soul. I get it. And there's also
Casselian.
Yeah, Corellian Soul. I mean, there's the
Wait
dragon
a
again.
minute. He's still thinking about it.
Ooh.
Ooh. I feel like HLE just decided, how can we lose to D+
We
today
should
in
have
the
known.
coolest way?
Because Thresh has like lots of souls, right? Like he picks up this soul. So there has to be an Aurelion Soul on the map. Right?
Yeah, by the way, it's not good. And it's not good in this comp. So glad that we thought better of it. Glad that we decided we were not just going to blind it.
It's your time. Oh, it's not his time.
Really? Gonna play this one, huh? Definitely can be quite strong in the early game with Lee Sin.
Yep. A lot of pick potential here for DK. Lee Sin, Varus, and LeBlanc, plus the Leona.
Kind of reminds me of how we saw KT Rolster play against Gen.G. Very different comp, but like trying to do the same sort of thing here, where you have a lot of single target blow up. And the problem is there's a Thresh on the other side, so whoever you catch, probably going to be able to take that Lantern in team fights and stuff like that. But in the early game, Akali very gankable, Cassante not going to be able to get many advantages here. The Varus, Leona should be able to get ahead as long as Loopy has good engage. But yeah, I would have liked the other variant on the bottom side, the Nautilus, more here.
Yeah. Although, yeah.
The root is just, I mean, so strong. Like you hit the hook.
We've been talking about like Thresh Leona for so many years as well, and so many players just don't care. They're just like, but we want Leona outer lane, so we'll just pick it.
Yeah, I mean, what she offers in you know, the ability to set up for some picks outside of lane is very big and much more aggressive range than Nautilus, but can't just point click on an Akali and lock her down. So
true. And now they've got like the darkness theme with Varus and then a sun theme with Leona. It feels a little bit off, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's just not, the synergy isn't there, is it?
No, it's not. And Lee Sin can't even see, which I don't think, I'm not sure how that's relevant, but he can't see the difference in the darkness and the light of the bottom side of the map, and he's going to need to be down there. So it might be a little bit confusing.
Could be.
Yeah. That's sort of my assessment of the draft, and I think because of that, D+ Gear have a huge draft loss in this one, and Harmosh should win in about 14.5 minutes.
Wow. I'm feeling like, personally for me, I think D+ are going to win it in about 28 minutes.
28 minutes?
28 minutes.
I'm writing it down on my little piece of paper here next to the pros and cons.
Yeah, that's my...
28 DK, and before that, it's a 14-minute HLE. Mine looks a little bit more impossible. Let's get into the game on 2.
Oh, I totally forgot. I was reading chat. No!
It's all right. I got it. I got you. I got
No!
you back.
I was so good before.
In your brain, would you have done it then, though?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah, no, there we go. There we go. It's all right. Wolf did it. He just wanted to give me a little bit of time.
I was reading chat. Somebody was talking about how like there was only 10 viewers on the Valorant stream I was watching, but it didn't interact with chat. We have so many viewers here where we interact with chat.
Yeah, that's what
Too
we're
bad for
about
that guy
here.
who's streaming Valorant, man. He needs to talk to his chat.
We even let the chat actually cast the game as well. Like, it's all about you guys. Actually, you guys are the best. Thank you for being here and making our lives so much more improved. Who would have thought that the bringer of life for our Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah, no, I mean, really.
Is Twitch chat.
Yeah,
you know?
it's something that I didn't see coming. Until I did cast Overwatch here, and like we had the chat system set up here, and I was like, ooh, it's gonna be sick with challengers. But before that, I was like, oh man, challengers, I don't know. It's gonna be a different vibe. We already had like a lot of thoughts about how we could make the show different than LCK, and then chat was like, hold my coffee pasta.
Exactly. And then it was just all perfect. Absolutely amazing.
Speaking of,
oh no.
there it is.
Well, we appreciate you, the one guy in chat who is now on every single different account, because you do provide us with the illusion that we're commentating to more than one person, which is great.
I think it's really great that, like, on one hand, I want to be like, chat, come on, be more creative, like, get a new copy pasta, but then that kind of defeats the purpose of the joy of copy pasta. You just do the one that's already made.
Exactly. That's the point. It's not a copy pasta if you're not copying and pastering it or something. Have you ever, like, gone to someone's house and they made pasta and you got the recipe? Because that's like pretty meta, isn't it?
No, I've never done that. I've never copied anyone's pasta.
Copied pasta before?
No, I haven't done it.
I copied my mom's pasta all the time, actually. Like she's got a few really great recipes, so it does confuse me a little bit when people say copy pasta, because I'm like, wait, are you like?
Have you ever?
Her ragu linguine is like, have you got that as well? Like that exact one?
Have you ever cut or pasted it?
Ooh, I haven't been that fancy, you know? Like some pastas, you know, like you need to like make sure that everything's the right length and stuff like that. My dad does make his own pasta, which does involve a bit of cutting, not a whole lot of pasting. I think it'd have to be like a, what is it? What are the little parcels called? Ravioli?
Yeah.
Because you kind of paste them, don't you?
True. Yeah, you put them together. Yeah.
And then you have to cut them out in order. Oh, so it has to be ravioli. If it's like copy pasta, then it has to be ravioli.
I've done some cut and paste in that regard of Korean mandu, Korean dumplings. I've made some dumplings in my time. So done a little bit of that, but never with the pasta.
The Italians wouldn't be happy if you cut your pasta, says Joel from YouTube chat. That's actually a good point.
Don't ever cut your pasta, he says.
Oh, okay. Now I'm learning. I'm learning. Okay, so we're never.
Don't
we're not gonna,
ever cut it.
Yeah, but what if it's like just copied and then pasted? Because you don't have to cut. You know, it was like you just leave it there, just copy it.
Yeah, but you know it's not going to be. It's not going to be gone. Like if you wanted to move the whole thing and not just duplicate it, you'd have a problem. But
yeah, I'm sure there's someone getting upset about the fact that we haven't said anything about this game so far.
There was in the YouTube chat, I saw it, but it's okay. As nothing is happening in this game except scaling and farming.
I like this. Cowards cut their pasta. I break it like a man. If you cut it, is it still broken? Kind of.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if it's cooked, you have to cut it, right? You can't break it anymore if it's bending. But if it's uncooked, you can't really, you cut it really. You just break it. So
seems a bit strange. I understand breaking noodles though. You know, like you get the 2-minute noodles, you can't be bothered actually heating it up. You just want to have them like straight out of the packet, like they're like crisps. And so you smash them up and then like put the little the powder in there.
Breaking noodles, the ravioli chef with terminal illness turns to the black market. My favorite TV show.
Any interesting Korean updates that would surprise you? Oh, as in like, Monviet moved.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We thought we'd lost Monviet, but now it's actually closer to Hapjeong Station.
Ah, okay.
Which is pretty cool.
I thought it was gone, so that's good to know.
Yeah, that was the Good Noodles. Papa and I used to go there a whole bunch of times. As far as like openings and closings that I could explain from our neck of the woods when you used to live here, Papa, it's hard to say because I've been in Bulgwang for a while now, so it's hard to know.
You said hi to me at World Finals. If I saw your face, I would definitely remember. But hello again.
Team I Don't Know Oriana. I like that name.
Yeah, that's a good name.
I remember you too. You still want Atlas to try an American accent? Snuggles, careful what you wish for, mate. There are things that you want in life and things that you don't.
Thanatos wants things. Yeah, I've lived it. Thanatos wants things, but there's things he does not want. Thing number one he does not want right now is a Sejuani behind him.
Yeah. But he does want a Drake, and he'll get one of them, probably, without having to do very much.
Yeah, and actually, he's not going to have a Sejuani behind him. It's just going to be Sejuani taking a red buff. So red buff for Drake, he'll take that.
Any day of the week. All right. Checking in on where the game is. Entirely even everywhere, except there is a dragon now that was picked up by DK, and yeah. And Hanwha steal a red buff.
Yeah, and with these two comps, neither team really benefits from scaling more than the other.
Died?
Yeah, rip. So Guwon right now massively ahead in vision score.
How much does a full portion of BBQ cost at the moment?
In like
Samgyeopsal at a restaurant?
I would say 15. 15 is like now the standard, 15 to 18. I know that sounds crazy, but like that's actually where it's at now. It went up from like 12 to 15 pretty recently.
Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle.
Oh, BBQ chicken in this case. I haven't had BBQ chicken in a little while. I mean, I have, but I'm never the one who actually pays for it. So
yeah, I often am the one that pays for it, but I give my card to Chronicler and tell him to go and purchase the chicken. Although at BBQ they now have a Jamaica chicken thing, and it's like super good. I don't know how expensive it is, but it is really good. So there's at least that.
You should go to Weijongbu if you want to get the best budae jjigae in Korea. There's a lot of great restaurants there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or you could get my meal kit, sold out at the moment, but...
Is it on Curly?
It's on Curly.
Hell yeah.
It's on Neighbor Shopping. But if you go look it up now, you'll just be sad because you can't buy it at the moment, but it'll be restocked soon.
Hell yeah. We're addicted to Curly at the moment. It's just like food delivery, and like you can buy like home meal kits from like famous restaurants and stuff. And like I had jjajangmyeon for breakfast the other day, and it's like
that's
from,
a rare breakfast.
Yeah, it's a weird breakfast to have. It's like Chinese noodles, but it was absolutely amazing. And I ate it at lunchtime, so technically I guess it's lunch. But it was absolutely fantastic, and it's from like a famous Chinese restaurant, and like a famous chef actually like designs the meal kit, and then you like just heat it up, and it tastes like you're at a restaurant. It was really, really good.
Yeah, the technology that we have right now to create what we call in Korea meal kits, which is basically just like either a frozen or refrigerated meal, it's getting better, and it's becoming very affordable. So it's a really common trend in Korea to just, rather than going out, just have a bunch of stuff in your refrigerator that you buy at the mart or buy online.
Yep.
As looks like we might not even have a fight for this, although I say it, Rahel and Loopy both have 6. They're coming over.
Cool, Thanatos. Rooster stepped on a Lego for a moment there. Thanatos trying to come round. Not going to find that third Q as Lucid comes in just to watch the dragon die. We're still going to fight for nothing, though, as an ulti flies to Narnia. Loopy's going to get taken down first here. First blood goes over to Duro, who's now getting the heck out of dodge. Hanwha probably wanting to back away to cut their losses, as that was a weird flash from Lucid. Still manages to pick up the kill though, and that kick is gorgeous! And they stay around for about forever just to make sure they could all die.
Yeah, that was about the weirdest Herald fight I think I've ever seen. So D+ lose somebody early. And, like, look at the setup here for HLE. Loopy is, like, all alone. Where's the follow-up damage here? Oh, wait, there isn't any. The Sejuani ultimate is arguably more sad. And then D+ are like, oh, okay, like, we have better health bars here. We did a ton of damage to Duro. And then HLE are like, what if we just went back in?
He flashed the hook. I was like, I thought he was going for a kick flash angle, but then he gets this amazing kick.
Yeah. Why go back in?
Well, yeah, this is the thing. So we were looking at that from the perspective of when the Hanwha Live cut their losses. You probably cut them immediately after collecting the eye. You get yourself a 1 for nothing.
Yeah, you got the kill, you got the eye, you just leave.
And then just leave. Instead, they decide to just wait around. They're like, Lucid, you got a sick play coming up, right? We'll just stand around here so that you can make that one work.
This is like 2021 summer fighting for Herald levels of throw. Like,
oh no!
Literally, just through the entire game, actually won a Herald fight, and then we're like, what if we got more? And then now Leandri's is done for Pulbe. He has picked up 4 assists in that fight.
And Lucid is absolutely gigantic out of this one. 1-0-2 as well for Rahel. As the dust settles, and the 1 kill that Hanwha picked up was on Duro.
So he has a Corrupting Pot and Leandri's. Loki just is going to struggle to exist in this lane.
I'm looking forward to seeing Duro pick up his Crystalline Bracer.
Or I just caster Cursing Pulbe and he like instantly ints under turret. So never mind.
Yep, Loki is going to be able to get his flash, so that's a bit of a disaster.
All right. Maybe try to Corrupting Pot and set up Leandri's damage when he's not under the turret. Could go better next time.
Yep, let's put that one. It's in the comms column. Comms column for that one. Bit of comms column for Pulve in that moment, but it's not, you know, end of the world. Second Drake going to be picked up, Cloud Salt. Oh yeah.
Oh, not the mountain this time, but successful 2 Drake start here for D+ this time. Not going to be giving those up, so a even bigger lead than last game.
Not going to give them up or let them down.
Nope, never going to run around.
Yeah, or hurt them.
Nope.
Yeah, something about crying and lying and stuff. Anyway, Pulbe back at it again here in this mid lane. And there is a Sejuani. Glacial Prison. Where does it go this time?
Yeah, where does it go? Does he actually hit it? Does it get distorted?
The Void. Narnia again.
Oh, there's distortion.
Distortion's on cooldown. Narnia it goes. That was the choice. Hook is going to land. That's a really dead LeBlanc. The hook didn't actually land onto the LeBlanc, but sometimes you can just play and everything's fine.
They're going to drop the Herald here right away, and suddenly, Pulbe's lead just disappeared. They snapped their fingers.
Ooh, another hook's there for Duro as well. Doesn't really mean too much, but it was cool.
Don't play Heartsteel Senna, man. Don't do that. Look at your potential. Look at your potential.
Yeah,
okay?
Think about Heartsteel Thresh. Baby.
You're a young man with a lot of potential, right? Don't throw your career away. Okay? As, yeah, Pulbe...
Zoning. It was a zoning ult.
There was a lot going on here, but the Flay also coming in clutch there to help secure the kill. Maybe, you know, the Sejuani ult's missing. Not that important after all.
No. And, I mean, so, if we have a look at this and adjudicate it from a power level at different stages of the game perspective, you know, we can do that a little bit here.
Yeah.
Because the game hasn't been moving at a breakneck pace. DK currently with a 2,000 gold lead. I think that kind of fits for this stage of the game, right? They've got the LeBlanc, Lee Sin, Renekton, a lot of earlier game power. Hanwha Life, they've got Aphelios and Akali scale beautifully towards that late game. They have the front line in the Sejuani as well, going to have a lot of value. And I feel like in the later stages, they will have a few options here. A lot of engaged choices as well.
This is what I like to call Atlas guilt casting, where he's like, we didn't talk about the game very much. We should do a little bit of a composition check.
No. Don't break the fourth wall. What are you doing?
And, you know, we're just gonna talk about like where these two teams are at right now. No, it's good. But since you did it, like I don't get to do it now. There's not much else to say, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Somebody asked how strong we think Milio is gonna be. We don't know the kit yet, but I suspect given the history of release champions and how strong oppressive bot lanes are right now, if he's a good support, which he probably will be, probably pretty busted. That's my guess.
Is this the new champ?
Yeah.
I don't look at them until there's something that I'm going to actually commentate. That's my rule. I don't want to put extra stuff in my brain.
Thanatos?
Well, let's see whether the Lego can withstand this. He is going to slice. I don't think he has the dice, but he does have legs, and he's just going to walk this one out. Loki takes most of his health bar in turret damage.
Man, turrets are OP in challengers.
Yeah, dude.
Teams just don't respect them.
They exist really hard.
Yeah. They're really the most consistent part of challengers.
They absolutely are.
They will always do the same damage no matter what. Here every game. Good lantern, good lantern. Lucid's not done yet, though. Yes, he is.
Do you
that
think
was
that
the biggest bait.
Do you think that Lucid, like, is aware of his dreams every single time?
No. I'm going to say pretty unlikely.
Really?
Yeah.
Aw, I thought that he would have been
I think
named
he's had moments of clarity in his life. You know, he's awake. He's truly awake.
Aware?
He's aware, but does he lucid dream every time? I mean, pretty unlikely. That's kind of statistical anomaly,
I just thought that you wouldn't name yourself that unless you actually did just lucid dream every single time.
Every time?
Yeah.
But I mean, even like his first dreams when he was
He might need a letter as well. I might need to send him a letter as well. The Heart Steel for Duro, and like if you're not actually a lucid dreamer every single time, why are you calling yourself that? As Pulbe,
no ult.
He may need to distort, does do so. Just go back
ult.
to it.
Yeah.
That'd be the Chad move. But no, they are going to push away the LeBlanc though, Harm Life with an opportunity now to move over towards the most valuable dragon in the universe.
Most valuable dragon in the universe. Thanatos has ult, no flash though. His pull base is doing so much poke.
Yeah. It's LeBlanc getting work done. Gets over the wall. Spotting everything out. There's HLE. She hops on forward as now they might have found Loki off to the side. Solar Flare is going to slow him down, but he gets himself out of there. And they're looking to now try and stop this charge. Not going to be able to do so as the turret does fall down. Rooster standing in that front line. Moonlight Vigil is a fair bit of value, but not going to actually get any of the kills. And Rahel snipes him down.
That shot.
That was beautiful. And that was also a snipe from an on-hit Varus. Doing a lot of damage with that W empowerment.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a sole point. Have you noticed, I don't know when this happened to me, I think it was probably 2 weeks ago, that I just kind of go, hoo, 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 hoo.
Yeah,
Instantly.
I like it.
I don't know why I do that
I'm
now,
a big fan.
but it's like my new thing. Where I just like see something happen and it's like, you know, I can think about it, like, some people just go, nice Varus arrow, or say something like that. I just make hoo, 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 hoo sounds like I'm a Mario Kart character. And I don't know when this started, and I don't know why it's happening.
I love it.
And I'm kind of embarrassed about it, but it just keeps happening. I can't turn it off.
I think you just have to embrace it. You can just be the hoo-hoo guy from now on. You missed it, doo-doo, but at least you've got the hoo-hoo.
Yeah, so since I do that on the LCK stream, though, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's actually just become a staple of my casting, and I don't know. I don't think it's good. Like, I think it needs to stop.
Yeah. Oh, F-Cloud has such a good point. Like, Faker is actually real. Peanut isn't a nut. He's a human.
That's true.
Oh, man. Score isn't a score. He's also a human.
Yeah, he also didn't have great scores for a long time, especially when he first made his ID.
Yeah, especially when it was, you know, Gangplanks and, you know, versus Smite and stuff.
If you need a place to stay, I have 2 owl houses in my backyard.
Why do you have 2? Oh, like in the trees in the backyard. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, we had a few of those as well.
I just needed to address it, guys. I wanted everyone to know that, like, this is involuntary.
You have a tick. You have a tick. That's your
now.
thing. Yeah. He's struggling. This is what happens when he gets a throat cold. It just gives him the hoo-hoos. It's just, we have to deal with it.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that like the other casters couldn't talk to me about first, so I had to address it first. It's like, is it really weird if we talk to Wolf about how he does this thing?
I'm actually like, I'm really used to it because like I worked with Raz for so long, and Raz is like the most like just yells about random stuff during a broadcast, like constantly making noise. And so I'm used to it. I love it. As Duro's real dead, he's gonna place them in a box. And no one puts DK in a box.
No.
Especially not Loopy and Pulbe.
He bought some time with that locket, though, didn't he?
He did. It could have been better if it was a Heart Steel, though.
Yeah.
Think about the amount of stacks he would have charged up while he auto-attacked Loopy.
He had a ward there, so he could have, like, queued into ward hop pick because he doesn't have flash, but they're just going to take Baron instead. Why not?
Lure is in a bit of trouble here, loses half of his health bar. It is still DK, by the way. D+ here is still DK.
Yeah.
So, Taiki, if you could just pipe down, that would be great. Loopy now looking for a turn here, as off to the side is Thanatos. Does get interrupted with the Arctic Assault, but still flashing forward, looking for Lua. He's going to flash, he's going to use everything to try and get out of there as Cassante pulls the Crocodile back. But Sejuani's already dead. They're going to be able to trade this one out, but it's not enough. The value not quite there, as Loopy kind of gets collected by Rooster sort of beautifully there, as Rahel decided to take a turret shot. Turret's still the most valuable player.
I'm telling you, consistency of the turret, man. Just keep shooting. The turret shots also don't miss. It's wild. Turret shots hitting way more than Sejuani ultimates in this game.
That's true.
This flank setup is really great here. They have a control ward over the wall, and yeah, Leona ultimate going to come through a little bit off, but kind of caught here, unfortunately, now as HLE. And the all-out here is really cute because you can isolate Thanatos, but it's not going to change the reality here, which is that this LeBlanc is insanely fed.
Yeah. And we're going to skip the part of the video where the turret did a bit of a number on Rahel. He gets himself out of the way, though. Now goes back home 2-0 and 5, 4-0-3 for Lucid as well. Like, man, this is not the series that I was expecting. This is DK coming off a loss against KT, remember, guys?
Yeah.
Just to bring it back to reality for a moment. We're expecting this to be a bit closer.
Really were, especially after the early game in game 1.
Yeah.
An unknown brush. Where's Loopy? Where is he?
Now some sneaky observing there, as Loopy is going to get smoked for a moment. He's pretty tanky with that Eclipse, though, as now Pulbay lurking off to the side, as Lua doesn't have flash, remember, but Loopy is going to go down first. They just explode the Akali, and now Lucid's looking to chase them down. 1 for 1 is going to be the trade here for now, as Pulbay just dives on over. Oh man, every time he presses a button, I get frightened. As, okay, Guan just going to get snared up for a moment, and Pulbay's just continuing to run circles around him.
Loopy's strat is just die, and then D+ will win the fight. Like, that's
yeah, it's die, question mark, profit, or something like that. As now Duro is in a lot of trouble. The Flay is not going to stop that one. All out. It's going to bring Thanatos over so he can murder the support. Rooster, what was that? That was rude. That was not okay. As Lua is just going to be left by himself, because his top laner just murdered his support.
This is a 6-0-4 Lee Sin. This is not a drill. He has a cleaver, and he's going to use it. If he actually hits that Q, it's basically an ace that will take out the Aphelios. And yeah, that's going to be Cloud Soul here very early on in this game. And now D+ could just reset and go for Baron. They have enough damage, I think, at this point to actually do it pretty consistently. It's LeBlanc, but it's Leandri's LeBlanc, as, yeah, we skipped the part where Loopy just decided to die and just went right into the rest of the team fight, as Rooster is, like, so killing his support. And then Pulbay's he's just lurking. He's just back there. He's doing damage, and then...
And look at this, Rahel moved away from the turret.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible stuff. And normally, the game plan is kill the Aphelios and then wipe out the rest of them. DK's plan was a little bit different. It was kill everybody else and leave the Aphelios to do nothing afterwards. That was the theory. It worked out quite well. We also learned that Loki's first activation of his ultimate does 411 damage, because that was all the damage he managed to, he just exploded after that. As take the ball for a walk. Don't look at the sun.
Wow.
That is a thing that you're not supposed to do. Loopy demonstrating that that is a bad move.
Sejuani's real tanky, huh?
Yeah.
Guess not. Not with no magic resistance, really. He's got Sunfire, I
not
guess.
when you're like, you know, 3,000 gold behind.
Yeah. He's 3,000 gold behind. Pulbay is 3,000 gold ahead of his opponent. Has 2 rods.
This is like some solo queue action going on here. We've got 2 people taking a Baron, 2 people sieging top lane, 1 LeBlanc fighting 3 people in the bottom lane.
D+ just don't want an Elder Flip, man. They've got that top wave prep for the Baron buff to come through.
They're going to lose their Gromp Wolf.
Ooh, well, did they actually get it? I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Oh,
and they actually prep these waves to just let them go. I'm going to push top here, and then promptly recall.
Yeah.
It's like,
and don't explain anything.
It's like, no questions asked. This is an Obi-Wan moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Gonna go straight to the top lane.
They have actually been mind controlled a little bit this game. Somehow they managed to make him build a Heartsteel on center. You know, we got to ask some questions. He keeps doing it as well. Like this Jedi mind trick has been working for way too long. It's like, can you at least release him from it after the first time?
They're trying to actually, I figured out that they're trying to 100% HLE. They're not actually going for the speed run. They want to get every structure, every single turret, all the minions they can, the full jungle clear.
They're completionists, you know, like
it's not
even if it takes them 500 hours, they're just going to make sure that they never have to open this game ever again.
Yeah, they're going to get the special title screen and everything.
Oh yeah, this is the good ending, you best believe. As the chain is going to miss onto Loki. Lucid is split pushing, as all Lee Sins want to do. Q barely not landing onto the Akali.
Watch out for Loopy. Oh, he's got a control ward there.
Rooster! He just did a bit of a drive-by. Wanders on through. He's pretty tanky.
I like just the donation over the wall, the control ward. Here's some catch-up money for you, HLE.
Oh, it's a bit sad. As Hanwha still have some threads left on this turret towards his bottom side. Pool Bay just dancing around the area.
Lucid also with flash kick available. If they get any vision, he is going to look for it.
That siege minion did so much work as well. Absolute MVP. As the turret is going to fall based on that siege minion's hard work.
Wall. Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay. We haven't fought yet. Hummer Life are still scaling. As a lot of people said in Twitch chat, their composition scales really well. So after the Nexus falls, they're still going to be gaining power. But it will be a 0-2 loss. So they will have to come back the next game. Hopefully have this composition and convince their opposition to let
they
them
really
start
are 100%ing this game.
Oh yeah, this is we're dotting T's and crossing I's and dotting F's.
They better not forget
crossing J's.
There's actually a missable though on Summer's Rift.
Okay, boxes down. They managed to catch Pool Bay, but the fight is on. They managed to take down the turret here as well. Loki protected by his shroud, but that's a gigantic crocodile diving on in the kickback. But it's red-white. Maybe you shouldn't fight, but if you're this far ahead, absolutely fight. Do whatever you want to. Actually, as the Q is going to miss, but Lucid, he can also do that. He does that in his dreams all the time, and he can remember them extraordinarily well. As these Nexus turrets, not long for the world, they are going to be taken down here, and DK, a 2-0 victory in game number 1, really coming off that KT loss beautifully and bouncing back.
Well, I will say, though, they did miss the bottom Krugs. Bottom Krugs, though, not 100%.
Dude, what the hell? DK won in 28 minutes.
Yeah. I told you it was going to happen. Atlas, it's a Frozen cast.
You actually you brought out a Frozen cast and didn't even tell me? I was casting by myself this whole time?
My casting meal kit. We were talking about meal kits earlier.
I should have known when you were talking about refrigeratable Buddha Jigga.
Yeah,
my God.
I knew it was going to happen. This is what they do. They actually could have ended faster, but they wanted to almost 100% the map. They also didn't get the blue buff.
Yeah.
They didn't get the blue buff, they didn't get Krugs, but like close.
We need to do the vote.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm just going to vote for Pool Bay, actually.
Yeah. Lucid. I'll do a Lucid. No.
Yeah, Pool Bay did 25,000 damage this game, although I think Lucid's a good vote. Thanatos had a good game. Loopy... It's hard to describe what he did this game, but he walked at the team and got cooldowns.
He did.
And then D+1, so like, it's hard to give him POG, but in a weird roundabout way, he kind of was.
He was great. I actually think that DK just played it out really, really nicely. As, man, we were 8 seconds away from you not being absolutely perfectly correct on the 28-minute DK victory.
Yeah, but I was right.
But it still says 2-8 at the start of it, so I'm going to hand it to you. That goal graph, by the way, like you can tell that we weren't talking about this game of League of Legends that much during this game of League of Legends, because that kind of goal graph means that DK got an advantage, just continued using advantage to win.
It's really weird how D+ can have games like this where they look unstoppable, easily the best team. They have like an insane performance where everyone is playing perfectly, and then you have games like we saw last week and the week before where you're like, is this the same Pool Bay that we saw in this game? Like, it doesn't feel like they're even the same player. The inconsistencies of this team are so high, but still, They're in second place right now in the standings. They are definitely a force to be reckoned with here. And it just makes you wonder, like, if they were on like this every time, how good they'd be. As your Lucid vote,
there it is.
Gonna come through.
7-0-9 on the Lee Sin. Played good League of Legends, and honestly, like, the game was Weird Wolf. So I think, like, when in doubt, Lucid.
Yeah,
for
pretty
DK.
much. He's the regular season MVP.
He is super good.
Or round 1 MVP, I should say.
And now 600 points, so only 100 away from the top spot here in Challenger. Of course, we know that in the LCK, we're already up to like 1,000 points for Carrier and stuff like that. But here, still very, very close as far as POG. So anyone could kind of walk away with it.
He's coming for you, Feisty.
Yeah.
He's coming for you. Watch out.
Only
Feisty's
100 points away.
gonna have to absolutely pop off this week to keep his top spot.
When's he playing in our last series against T1?
Not today. I think
No?
he's playing tomorrow.
Oh.
No one's just playing against T1 today.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Faker retired. Check Twitter.
Oh, no, not again.
Definitely real. Definitely really happened.
Yeah. He was replaced by Bay. A much better mid laner, I think. Of course, used to play with Juan, who is a world champion now.
So I thought about something I wanted to ask chat today as one of my shower thoughts, because I've been thinking about our chat. We've had such a great chat, both of our chats. I'm not going to pick any favorites, but
Okay.
I'm sure everyone's going to answer honestly. But I did want to ask, how old are you in chat? Like, I just want to know our audience. Like, how old are these people? Now, people can lie, whatever. How old do you want to be? Like, whatever you prefer. I'm curious about the age here of our fans. Wow, 99 in the chat. Good to see it. Wow, looks like actually, assuming people are being truthful, it's like mid to late 20s seems to be the average here. That's
I feel
cool.
I feel like we're actually somewhat in a roundabout same kind of age group as chat.
I wish.
1 month, 1 month from 30. Greekazoid. Well, happy birthday for a month from now.
Yeah, so everybody's kind of chilling.
Oh, I like this. Like Derpy says, we're all retired, so we watch. Like everyone's like they like quit their jobs at 37, like incredibly successful. Now they're just watching their like stock or like their cash just increase in value with these incredibly high interest rates that we have at the moment. Just watching their bank account go up.
I
like it.
am 32 myself.
I am 34. I'm turning 35 in the middle of MSI.
Yeah, I'm going to be turning 33 in June, so not much after you. So we're about to get +1. Not the +1 you want. Where's my -1s?
You guys have to realize that I'm 35 only so that I could have played a lot of the video games from earlier on. It doesn't mean anything about my level of maturity in any way, shape, or form. So don't worry, I'm still one of you. It's totally fine. 13 years older than you, Rubricate. Well, it's okay. It's okay. We can still relate to everything together. I just need to, go to the doctor more often and stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, when you hit people are like, so what's it like when you turn 30? Nothing happens. When you hit 32 though, you're like, ooh, it's really, everything hurts all the time more than before. It's weird.
I look a lot younger than 35. That's the power of makeup. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, you guys don't know what we really look like.
Yeah, no, it's actually...
These are actually just masks.
Yeah,
take this off.
Yeah, that was not a noise that I'm going to make again. I apologize. We can't legally purchase Trick cereal anymore. No!
It's only for kids. No! No!
You've sipped from the
Chat's
fountain
always
of
after
youth.
my Lucky Charms.
I like the word swoop. That's a great one. But yeah, from now on, we are actually just going to say that our ages are 10 years younger than they actually are, because apparently we look younger than we are. So there we go. So I'm 25.
22
turning
here.
26
22
soon. Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah.
My throat's like acting up because I'm a little bit sick today. But I'm not going to drink any of the liquids I have because that's not a sponsor of our broadcast.
Oh, no.
The cup it's in. I'm going to just hold it a little bit.
Wait, hang on. But isn't there like a portion of the cup that... Oh, no. Hang on. You could pour it into this LCK tumbler.
But then I'll get you sick, so you probably shouldn't do that. I'll hold it. I'll be okay. We'll make it.
These LCK tumblers are great, by the way.
They are. I need to get
They're
one.
actually really. Don't you have one?
Didn't
we get one?
No, I have the I got the mug, which I use pretty much every day.
Ah.
But I didn't get the tumbler, so I need to now get the tumbler so that I can drink out of it without ruining anything.
Oh, isn't it fantastic? And look, as you can see, it's got like LCK on it. And
Yeah.
this is actually a really good brand as well. The tumbler brand itself. I brought it home, and my fiance's like, "Damn, that's actually a really good brand."
Yeah, LCK partnered with basically one of the most famous insulated cup brands in Korea. So
they're super
top
dope.
tier.
We also made an ad for this on the Pog State. You could probably go check it out. You know, it's like 35 bucks for. I don't know whether it's this one, but there was something that was 35K because there was a funny bit in the ad about 35K.
Yeah, I don't know if the price.
I should get my name engraved on the mug. It is there. You just have to look really hard. In fact, the icons for top, jungle, mid, bot, and support actually spell out Atlas if you look at it like from the side and squint a lot. Yeah, it looks like Atlas. Yeah. It does kind of look like that.
Yeah. I guess there's only one thing left to do, but to Twitter shill. There's a follow us at Proxy Wolf.
Yeah.
At Atlas lol.
Atlas TV.
Atlas TV, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know your URL.
I used to be Rito Atlas.
You have like
and then I had to change.
Your Twitch is different than your Twitter, which is different than your Instagram. Like you gotta consolidate. I guess you just have to change your name now.
Yeah, I unfortunately just have just a pretty common name for all of my names. I'm just a generic. I'm just a generic dude.
Yeah, you're pretty
real
much
sorry.
Yeah.
It's a problem. It is. It's
yeah. Imagine having TV in your handle, Kevin_Kim_TV. Imagine having TV and underscores in your name.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Well, you just need like XXX, like 420 and stuff like that in like the front and the back of your name. Then you'd be all over it.
I have underscore in my Twitch. I'm Wolf_Schroeder.
I have underscores in my Instagram, but I don't use it. So, you know.
Sephiroth TV. There you go.
Oh, there we go. That's amazing. Whoa. I love Sephiroth in names.
Atar?
Avatar? What?
My friend's gamer tag was 420 $$ greatness_TV. Wolf_egg.
Wolf_egg's pretty good. Oh my god, I should have been Atlas XDD. That should have been my name, not TV. Oh no.
I can't wait for the new platform that comes out that we're going to be very late to join and have no followers on, but
yeah. What's the next one that we're going to have to make? I skipped
we skipped TikTok.
I skipped TikTok just purely because I want to get a government job later on and I can't be bothered removing the app. From my phone.
It was a safe way to just avoid it entirely.
Yeah, it just means that, if I wanted to work in the Pentagon later, I'd be able to get there.
Do you guys remember
sort of
Vine? That app was so sick.
Yeah, Vine was great. Wasn't it
great.
incorporated into Twitter and then died or something?
Yeah, it was it was owned by Twitter as far as I understand. It was very sad when it went away. TikTok just never captured the vibe of Vine to me. The Vine vibe was kind of a little bit more it was only 6 seconds, no matter what, and it was very much very difficult to edit and do fancy stuff. You could do it, but it was hard. So it was way more fun to see what people would do with their phones. TikTok is just kind of
I think it's I think TikTok is what Vine would be now if it had have just kept going, though. I feel like technology's kind of caught up to it.
Yeah.
Because Vine's if you look at it through the rose-tinted glasses, it was super cool because there wasn't short-form video at all at the time.
Vine was so clever, man. I loved all the stuff that people would do.
They're really cool. I don't know, the movie magic stuff that people would do just at home was very, very funny. I remember there was a Vine about this dude on rollerblades. Showing you that you could do all your housework way better if you just had rollerblades on.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
That was actually so good.
Sometimes I actually go back and watch best Vine compilations. Once a year, I'll be I remember Vine, and then I'll go look it up, and I'll be 23 again.
Yeah.
Everything was really simple back then.
You do that after watching like every single StarCraft intro.
Yeah, and every League of Legends intro.
Yeah.
Like some Heroes of the Storm intros. I'm just like, oh, esports through the years.
You go right and watch all of the like the Overwatch Apex intros as well, and just like get really nostalgic.
Yeah, we've been doing esports for a decade. You know, for me, over a decade, it's like just it's a lot. It's a lot of esports to look back on.
I miss HOTS too. I need to talk about this.
You can still play it.
We can still play it, but I used to like come home from work and like on my days off, just so that I could avoid a bit of League of Legends, I would just watch Wolf and G-Clef casting Heroes of the Storm, and it was the best, and I loved it.
It was
and
fun.
then as like while I was getting really into it, they just canceled it forever. And I was like, this is just the worst. And on that note, we're going to stop the comments, and we're going to go to a short break. When we get back, our second series out of 3 for today. See you there.